My name is Steve Shafer. I'm the Chief Scientific Officer for the Soil Health Institute, which is one of the organizing group for this conference. So we've kind of been in the lead for this. This is, to our knowledge, if not the first, one of the rare opportunities to get together the agriculture and food community, science community with the human health and medical community to talk about connections specifically between what we call soil health and human health. This conference had its origins just under 2 years ago. The National Academies convened a meeting called Soils, the Foundation of Life. And I was there along with Dr. Jose Centeno. Jose, are you here yet? Dr. Centeno is with the Food and Drug Administration. And Dr. Andrew Sharpley, where's Andrew? Where are you, Andrew? He's over here. And he was at that point, this was in late 2016, he was the incoming president of the Soil Science Society of America. Was that, you were not yet in the position? Yeah. So the three of us were at this conference, and Jose had talked a little bit about, and it was a fairly broad conference on soils, but Jose had talked specifically about some connections between soil health and human health. And Jose and Andrew and I ended up in the same breakout, and we got to talking about, well, when was the last time you actually went to a conference on that topic? And none of us could think of one, or at least nothing that had been done real recently anyway that we were aware of. So we said, well, maybe now's the time to try to do that. And so it took not quite 2 years to figure out how to pull this off, but here we are, and I want to welcome everybody. We've got about 185 people registered. I don't know that everybody's here yet, but it's a good group. We intentionally kept it small so that we could have good interactions. We don't have planned speakers for lunch or anything. We hope you'll take those opportunities and get together and meet new colleagues and talk about new things. These are our goals. And this thing that's a monitor, I've got a teeny tiny slide that I can't look at and a huge block that says no notes. Which I didn't intend to have notes, but I'd sort of like to see the slide to remind myself what all's on there. Can you do that? How about handing, Warren? Would you just hand me my program? I think I can talk from some of that. Yeah, it's not gonna do people much good if the slide's very tiny and there's a big box that says no notes. What I wanted to do just very briefly was go over the goals for the conference. The goals really, I'll just paraphrase them, and that is that this is an opportunity to get two communities together that don't very often attend the same meeting. That's the main goal of this, and see if we can have a conversation about a topic that I think we share interests, but we often talk about in terms of different language. We just don't attend the same meetings. And so the goal is for us to have this kind of a conversation and look for opportunities where our interests overlap, where there are research opportunities, outreach opportunities, possibly identify ways for us to identify some high priorities, develop a bit of a roadmap for how to achieve that, what kind of funding would be available, what kind of partnerships, and maybe if we're lucky, there will be a couple of new initiatives, couple of new groups working together that will actually come out of this. And so at the end of 2 days, that's what we've got, we'll be successful. So if we look at the origin of this 2 years ago, where it was just one topic among many, and now we have this conference specifically, where it goes from here is largely going to be determined by us over the next 48 hours. So I urge you to use your imagination. A lot of people, when I talk to them and try to get them, and many of you heard this from me, your reaction was, well, I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to come, why would you ask me to speak on that? And my reaction to almost everybody was, nobody knows. That's the whole point of this, is to get a group of people together and try to bridge the disciplines and do this.